I am trying something new because I want to do a live service on Sunday. So I am trying this on Friday to make sure everything I've read is able to happen and do. So we're going to still study God's Word, but we're going to be doing a little bit of testing for Sunday morning. I trust that you had a good week and that you are continuing to stay safe and sanitized. We're going to be in Matthew chapter 5, verse 7 as we finish our first week of the Beatitudes. I also want to be able to encourage you to continue to read God's Word. If you want to be able to think about this beatitude this morning, I want you to think about a piece of conduit, a piece of tubing that runs wire through. And when we watch and when we think about conduit, we use that to get a piece of wire from one side to another. And that is really what this attitude is looking like. If you want to think through the Beatitudes, the first four attitudes, the ones we looked at Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, they are all focusing in our inner attitudes, in our heart, and in our soul. The next four we look at, which would be today, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, are going to focus on our hands or the things that we can see. So once the Lord begins to change our hearts and our attitudes inwardly, we're going to see that change come out in our hands and in our feet. So Matthew chapter 5, verse 7 is the first attitude that has to do with our hands that people are really going to be able to see. It says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." What does it mean to be merciful? Well, merciful is a forgiving spirit or having a compassionate heart. It's someone that has empathy and feeling what others feel. One commentator said it's compassion in action. And when we have this compassion in action, it is a conduit because we have got mercy or compassion and forgiveness from God, and we take that to others because it is a conduit, and we are just pushing things through. We are pushing that mercy and grace through that we have received from the Lord. This is Jesus's first Sermon on the Mount, and it's his first sermon in his ministry, and it's a Sermon on the Mount, and it's called the Beatitudes. And we really want to look at the example of Christ, and we really want to follow his example because that makes us true disciples. And Jesus was a man of much mercy, and he was a merciful person. He showed great mercy to do his miracles. He also showed great mercies to the crowd, and he was the one that would show compassion. He saw people. He wept when Lazarus died. He saw people that were suffering, and he had mercy or compassion. He had empathy with them and for them, but then he was able to go and do something for them. He was able to heal them. We do not have that gift of mercy and compassion to heal people, but we can still show mercy and compassion in different ways. I wrote down some ways that we could show mercy or compassion this weekend. You're going to get homework by the time we leave. The first way is that we could give someone a meal. We can give them cookies. We can give them a call. We can send them a card. We can drop flowers from a safe distance. And all those things could cost money. If you want to come up with a creative way, one thing I've done throughout the last couple of weeks is just give people a kind word. When you see them as you walk at a safe distance, just try to say hi. People are lonely. When we call each other, it breaks up those days. So those are ways to show compassion and empathy and just check in on people. People are going through this, and some folks are alone and they're feeling very alone. So a great way to show empathy is to call people, and that doesn't cost you any money. It just costs you a few minutes, and it would brighten someone's day. It would break up their day as well. So we look at this and we say, "Blessed are the merciful." Blessed are those that have a forgiving spirit, a compassionate heart. Blessed are those that show compassion and action. Why? For they shall obtain mercy. God is going to reward them with mercy because they first accepted his mercy. And that's where the idea of the conduit comes. And we have this fact, and we have this idea that when we are able to accept God's mercy, that is going to channel through us to other people. Now, we do not earn our salvation, but when we become a child of God, we begin to take his characteristics. And the first one that we see that Jesus points out is that we need to be people that show compassion and action. So this weekend, your homework is going to be to find someone that needs some compassion and then put that into action. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you Sunday morning for morning service at 10:30. Have a great Friday.